Me host today, Jamie Dorley, with the co-host. Welcome back, the Godfather of Nutrition, the one and only Joe Messino.
Well, we are coming off the heels of an amazing week, and we're just getting warmed up, aren't we, James?
Just getting started, Joe. We're super excited. Our team is growing. We have to the studio today, live in Studio 109. Ashton, help us out here in leadership from Slippery Rock University. So welcome so much. And we have the host of the show, Philly Phil, behind the scenes, Joe, taking care of everything we need. So
you know how we have some of our docs that have all those alphabet soup behind their name? Well, Phil has cinematographer, director, producer, and editor. So he's getting there.
Well, he does it all. And this time of giving, we're super excited. We had this really great promo and idea last year for the 12 Days of Christmas, which runs for how long, Joe?
12 days.
12 days. And this year we changed up a little bit. We had a lot of people requesting that rather than waiting each day until the end, that we would give them the opportunity throughout the 12 days to take full advantage of some of our most incredible formulas. And these are our formulas that have got the most feedback this year, the best results, and our top sellers.
And then we took it a step further, and we made it even easier for them. We bundled those 12 products into 6 unique bundles.
So on the 12th day of Christmas, Joe, let's see it. Let's go through this and get people excited.
The first bundle is the Couples Complete. I figured why not start off with the couples, right?
So they can take full advantage of these throughout the 12 days of Christmas.
That's right.
That was running from Thursday, December 8th, all the way through Friday, December 23rd. And you can take advantage by calling Nutritional Frontiers direct. You can go to our website, nutritionalfrontiers.com. Have you seen the new website?
Amazing new website. I mean, everything that we didn't have, we now have. It's so easy to work with.
And we've only gone through phase 1.
Oh, that's
so
good.
We're not going to stop there, of course. We got
not.
a lot more. We're working on phase 2 right now. So go to nutritionalfrontiers.com. What's one of the newest features you like the most?
The search feature is really excellent. You know, that's the one I always look for first, because I always have something I'm searching for, and it's really complete and easy to use.
I love the video capability with the testimonials, right?
Yeah.
You know, our mission is making the world healthy, and when you can actually have somebody share that in a video testimonial, fantastic. So 12 days of Christmas going on for those 12 days plus the weekends.
That's right.
So you get a nice double feature, right, to qualify all the way through. And you can buy these formulas on any day. And
You only have to buy one of each. There's no minimums. But you know what? That's why we coupled them, because we want to make sure that you're using, you know, our philosophy of protocol, product, and ingredient. Right, James?
Absolutely. And I love the formulations you chose on these, Joe. These are fantastic formulas. And for the first time ever, I'd like to thank, of course, Christine Glein for going to 20% off on these formulations. So very generous to her and the team. And we're excited about this because the formulation selection has been fantastic. So let's hear about the Couples Complete, Men's Complete, and Women's Complete.
Right. I mean, the Men's Complete released this year really made a difference, Jamie, because the Women's Complete was such a big star. Probably the best launch we ever had, right? Women's Complete.
Number 1, Women's Complete.
Right, number 1, because women are always number 1 in our hearts. But we came out with the Men's Complete because all of the men were taking the Women's Complete. So as we've always done, we make sure that they're very condition specific. And in the Men's Complete, you have, of course, cardiovascular support with CoQ10 at 100 milligrams, James. 100 milligrams of CoQ10. That's a therapeutic dose in a multivitamin. That's not found anywhere else. We also added citrulline and arginine. These are the 2 precursors for nitric oxide and vasodilation. Very, very important. And, of course, you can't have a Men's Complete without addressing the prostate, and we did with saw palmetto.
Oh, absolutely. Incredible formulation. I've been using it myself, and rarely do you find, I know a lot of vitamins in the industry, to see something you can feel right away. But that's the feedback we get at Nutritional Frontiers. People can tell the difference.
They can tell the difference.
And I've been taking the Men's Complete. I tell you what, I can tell the difference right away.
Definitely.
Love the formula. And now we can pair it up with the Women's Complete.
We've got a lot of couples out there, right? So let's pair it up. The Women's Complete was It was designed originally as a prenatal, then it went to childbearing years. Now it's menstruation to menopause, right? And of course, we went with a lot of patented research trademarked ingredients. The first one, of course, the quadrifolate.
Yeah, let me share with people newer to the company and some of the formulations is that, we want to do is make sure you have the right ingredients and the right combinations and the right amounts in the right forms.
Exactly.
And when you do that, you get the synergistic effect, right? So that when you combine those ingredients together and then you put them in a delivery system that is very bioavailable, meaning your body will absorb them, assimilate, and excrete them, you'll get a much better result. A woman came in the other day, for example, Joe, and she said she was buying vitamin, she was buying minerals, she's buying probiotics, she's buying a green food, she was buying all these different nutrients. That says, just take the woman's complete.
It's all in there, Jamie. You got the folic acid in the form of quadrifolic. It's a patented research trademarked ingredient. You've got probiotics. Not only probiotics, but you got spore-based probiotics from the soil, the most important one. You've got selenium, vital for breast health and anti-cancer. You've got a superfood breakdown with not just the superfood and the greens, but with a cranberry extract. Why? Urinary tract support, of course.
So those are two great.
Rounded off with Ferrokill.
Well, that's what I was thinking when the woman said, I even take an iron supplement separately, right?
Yeah.
So I was looking for Ferrocal.
Yep.
And there it is, right? So the ability to make these more comprehensive, right? So that you get a better result and better compliance, right?
Exactly.
So you don't have to take so many different products. So I love this. There we go. Our first bundle on the 12 days.
Bundle number one, the couple's complete. Then, well, we figured we'd address public enemy number one, which, of course, still is heart disease.
Well, I think it's still number one, but it's still often neglected because it's not the new sexy term genetics, right? Or COVID or all these things that people are looking for. However, cardiovascular disease is still the number one killer, right, in our country. It used to affect primarily men, but women we're seeing catching up, right?
Definitely.
Through the lifestyle.
Yes.
But what's the connection between cardiovascular disease and diabetes, Joe?
Well, they're 1 and 2, Jamie. First of all, they're right next to each other for cause of death, but they always are related. In a cardiovascular situation, you always have the risk of type 2 diabetes.
Yeah, because most people don't die from diabetes, right? It's cardiovascular issues, infections, right? Kidney dysfunction or kidney failure. So it's usually not quote-unquote diabetes,
right?
But that is one of the underlying causes. So CardioStack, one of our sleeping giants.
It sure
Thanks for adding this to the 12 days of Christmas. Sometimes this is like the middle child. You forget about them.
Yeah.
But CardioStack is awesome. Again, another example. Someone the other day came in for our event looking for L-carnitine. So I showed it to her. Then I showed her the CardioStack. She goes, this has a lot more in it.
It sure does. And the reason it does is because when you address heart disease, you got to address it from 2 points. One is the actual heart itself, energy for the heart. And the other is the vascular, the veins, keeping them clear. This addresses the heart itself. 3 forms of energy-producing nutrients for the heart, because the heart requires energy 24/7.
Yeah, and L-carnitine is actually used oftentimes in fitness, right? And people looking to get leaner.
Exactly.
It helps your body stimulate lipogenesis, right? Burning those fat tissue up. And the great thing about L-carnitine, it actually transports them from the arteries into the mitochondria to be burned as energy.
And it's a true fat burner.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of other things claim to be. This really is.
Yeah, no stimulating effects.
No. Rounded off, of course, with the CoQ10 and DMG.
Darn mighty good if you're not familiar with DMG. Dimethylglycine, 5 U.S. patents, and fantastic for heart, brain, liver, gut, joints, so many different things. And I love the 1-2 punch of glucolyzed.
Right.
That was the product formerly known as Sugar Solve. And now we've turned it glucolyzed.
And again, this was 3 products rolled into one. Because there was, years and years ago, Gymnema sylvestre, that's an herb. It really helps with blood glucose levels. And we used to sell that by itself. Cinnamon, now we know, since 2003, when this clinical trial was done, at 1,000 milligrams has a very beneficial effect on reducing blood sugar levels. And then the 2 gatekeepers to the cell, chromium and vanadium, these are trace minerals, but they're vital to making sure insulin can get sugar and glucose into the cell.
So 12 days of Christmas, we have 2 bundles and 4 products. We're almost halfway there, Joe. Let's get right into, well, who doesn't need a detox? Because all the way back in 1982, the U.S. EPA did a study looking at over 33,000 people in about 40 metropolitan areas, and they found 100% of people are toxic. So here we are 40 years later, right?
Yeah.
Do we think we've gotten better or worse?
Yeah, we've gotten worse. We've gotten worse because there's been more toxins added to both food and the environment. So this one, everyone said, well, what do you mean green liver? How does that? Well, I don't know. Just kind of, I remember that old Creedence Clearwater song. It was Green River.
Oh.
Yeah, right? So green liver, a little play on words. But it starts and ends with the greens, folks. Our Proline Greens, the most comprehensive greens drink on the market, bar none. Why? Well, right off the bat, a patented form of glutathione.
Well, I love the greens because there's a lot of greens powders on the market. Number one, most of them don't taste very good. This does. It has an apple cinnamon kicker.
It's delicious.
Nice flavor. And we have prebiotic and probiotic and enzymes in greens foods. But the PRT, the patent research trademarked ingredients, I've not seen in any other greens product.
No, you won't see it either. And we always round it off with DMG in a greens drink, folks, okay? This is the formula with 5 U.S. patents. I mean, ingredient with 5 U.S. patents in our greens drink. So we bundled it with our complete liver detoxification formula, and it's part of the complete family from Nutritional
Yeah, I love
Frontiers.
the Live Complete because in a capsule form, it's nice and easy to use, and that, you know, anybody can utilize. You can use it for a cleansing program, for maintenance, maybe that your body is toxic. Actually, my nephew, who's having migraines, he's in his early 20s, we put him on Mag Complete and the Live Complete, and within 2 days, the migraines are gone. And he goes, my energy was really low. It elevated very quickly.
Right.
And he works out and he eats well and everything. He's doing the good lifestyle. But he was so toxic from all the stress that this is what he needed to get him over the hump.
Give the body what it needs, right? And it'll do the work. And, of course, we have one of my favorite PRTs, Activin, grapeseed extract in here, Amothian again. And that takes us to the Endocrine stimulator.
So the 12 days of Christmas, you can take full advantage just by going to Nutritional Frontiers website. You can call the office at 412-922-2566. It started way back on December 8th. And it's going all the way through the 23rd. You do not need to buy all of them or wait for any date. You can take full advantage of any of them as often you'd like, and you get an extra 20% off first time we've done this show.
And you really don't even have to buy the bundles. We encourage it. But you don't have to. You can buy them individually if you like. You still get the 20% off. Endocrine. Question?
Oh,
we
questions.
got a question.
Here we go. We got to.
Must be persistent.
Yes.
Go ahead, Phil.
Well, being at the average age in the U.S. for a woman is about 80, and she's 99 3/4. I guess you add the half on as you get older because I remember it was like 6.5, right? She's 99.5. God bless her. We're glad she's doing so well. I would be very cautious with anybody telling her what she has at this point. I mean, she's had an incredible life.
Incredible.
Right?
And I wouldn't personally risk a surgery.
What I would like to see her do is some of the food-based nutrition, right? Making sure her diet's really good, making sure is she living on her own? I mean, if she is, this woman is a miracle.
Absolutely.
So if she is living on her own, one of the things I learned recently is that, elderly people aren't cooking the food for themselves. So I would be more concerned with helping her with activities of daily living, the food, right? Making sure she's getting the fluids in, making sure she's taking her meds and her supplements.
Right.
And I would try and get her on a smoothie once a day, right?
Sure, and the greens especially because, if she's not getting enough fluids, the best thing to do is to fortify that water with something like the greens, which will help with the liver all the way through. Well, she sounds like they're doing all the right things right.
Yeah, whoever's doing that, you are a blessing to your grandmother or mother or friend or aunt, whoever it is. That's fantastic. That's what it's all about. She's making her aunt's world healthy, right?
Absolutely.
I mean, I hope someone's
99
taking
and a
care of
half.
us at 99, Joe.
I hope we're still here at 99.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Well, that's great. Any other questions? Fire away. I got a couple more questions here.
Okay, so at 99 and a half, the thyroid has done its job. It's doing a great job. My only recommendation is I don't recommend surgery for anybody at that age of any kind. So if we can help with nutrients, we will. What they're doing is already helping.
I mean, if you want to give her one thyroid complete in the morning,
we're just going to get to that.
Yeah, that's what we're going over now. This is a great formula because it helps with adrenal and thyroid, the two first axes of the trifold, right? When you're looking at the axis of health with hormones is adrenal, thyroid, and sex hormones, right? So adrenal and thyroid is both in the thyroid complete, and we have the whole fat axis, Joe. What is that?
The whole fat axis, and that means it's fat spelled P-H-A-T, which means pituitary.
Oh, you like the young people. Look at you, P-H-A-T.
Pituitary, hypothalamus, adrenal, and thyroid. Let's not treat them separately. They're part of a system. So let's stimulate the entire endocrine system with Thyro Complete. That would be a great addition for her.
I love that because oftentimes people in our age group, they're focused on the sex hormones, right? My energy, my sex drive, my recovery, people are so focused on that, but they really need to help with the first two parts, the adrenal and thyroid, especially when they're younger.
Oh, yeah.
I just had a friend's daughter. She's up at school at NYU, overstressed, not sleeping. I sent her the stress kit with the adrenal and thyroid support. Within 1 day, she was sleeping.
And especially, we have a lot of college-age kids that are watching these presentations. Let's take care of your adrenal glands. Do it first.
And the number one nutrient deficiency in the world is still magnesium.
Yes, it is. Yes,
right?
It is.
Because it's not, someone said, what about the food? I says, even the healthy food is depleted.
Yes.
And this is one you can really feel in a short period of time, right?
So much so. It has so many uses, over 300 metabolic uses in the body. But you gotta really replenish this. We're so deficient in it. And it supports adrenal function right off the bat. That's why it's in this bundle. And, of course, we didn't stop there. We used only the best when it comes to magnesium, and that's the Trax Minerals.
I love it. That's a real amino acid chelates. Remember, the amount of the ingredient, with the mag right form, so your body absorbs it like what? A protein.
Like a protein, like a food. Because minerals are rock. And if you don't have a method of absorption, it's going to go right through you. So then we decided to add in, of course, we've redefined the term PPI. I heard that used over the weekend, proton pump inhibitor. Ugh. It's not. A PPI is a protocol, a product, and an ingredient. And the real PPI for the digestive system is GI Complete and Cybezyme.
Nothing like it. It has ingredients in there that have been proven to help repair the integrity of the microbiome and the GI intestinal tract, right?
Right.
It helps repair the mucosal lining, all the malt and gall, all the lymphoid tissue in there.
Yes.
It helps repair that, and then all the villi, which protects you because you really have a barrier between the outside world and the inside world. However, for a lot of people, it's been broken down.
Yeah.
And that's when things leak into the bloodstream, your immune system gets turned on, and then what happens?
Well, then it gets overworked and it starts to shut down. But that leak that you're talking about is a two-way door, right? Bacteria and toxins can get in, leak in, but nutrients can leak out. So we've never had a more clinical successful formula than GI Complete.
Yeah, and some of the old research I looked up recently, again, just to get a little refresher, when stress goes up, the repair mechanism of the intestinal tract goes down. So you factor in stress, number one. Then you look at a heavy sugar diet, which we learned the other day, the average American, 300 pounds, 150 being sugar, 150 being flour. Then you add in antibiotics. You see what's going on? Then you add in junk food, which is really just junk that's not being digested. It creates an environment that's going to be conducive to the overgrowth of things like candida, fungus, yeast, molds, bacteria, and now the person's been diagnosed with, hey, I got bloating, I have IBS, Crohn's, colitis.
And everything you mentioned is an anaerobic activity, which is bad.
Yes.
It's going to cause more things to
So
break
nice
down.
thing is GI Complete, it comes in a powder form, and you can utilize
flavors.
that. What's your favorite?
Raspberry. Delicious.
Oh, what's
Love
wrong
the
with you, raspberry?
I
huh?
love it.
Oh, some like raspberry, some like lemon lime, right? They're both great. So raspberry is actually a bigger seller. GI Complete's our #1 seller in the company.
There's a reason for that.
Yes, it is.
Works.
And then we have the Cybezyme, of course, which is
our most complete digestive enzyme, folks. And it has not just enzymes, but again, pre and probiotics in it. Invertase for sugar breakdown, because we know, as you just said, we're ingesting too much. And then that secret ingredient, DPP4, which actually helps the body better utilize the other culprit, gluten.
All right, Joe, I love it. So far, you got me here. So we didn't stop there. Mobility.
No, mobility. All right,
well, it's winter time, aren't you?
Yeah.
You know, aren't you going to sit around all winter?
No, you can't sit around all winter. That's going to make you sit around after the winter, too. Right? But mobility is something we see a lot because as you get older, just natural aches and pains, right?
Yeah.
Wear and tear. But what we found is you can address it really from two standpoints, and that is reduce the inflammation while you're rebuilding the joints that are
Yeah, we
immobile.
had a great topic last week with Dr. Bob Rakowski. You know, he was looking at athletes to the average person and showing how our bodies are made to move. We know this, right? And that our bodies function at a much higher level, and they're put under stress if we do what?
Put under stress if we don't do anything.
Well, if we recover.
While
gotta
you're
recover.
recovering, yes.
Yeah, so when you put your body under stress, it could be a workout, right? He was showing examples of deadlifting. It could be shoveling the snow. It could be skiing. I'm going skiing in a couple of weeks, right? It could be doing martial arts like you did for years. It could be walking. Whatever you do, you want to encourage a healthy lifestyle where you are active. However, you may have some aches and pains along the way, some degeneration, just some normal wear and tear, and you need the maintenance, right?
Right.
So these are two incredible formulas. I'm going to tell my story in a minute, but SPMs, let's hear about it.
SPMs, these are special pro-resolving mediators. They come from omega-3s. In a perfect world, we'd get them and make enough of them in our bodies. Well, we know it's not a perfect world. So these are the nutrients that will resolve that long-standing systemic inflammation. Not acute, although it could be used in that situation, but where it's really effective is in long-standing systemic inflammation. That could be in the arteries. It could be in the joints. It could be anywhere in the body, especially something that's not visibly, you can't see it right off the bat. So all of these conditions, arthritis, CVD, asthma, Crohn's, colitis, they're inflammatory disorders. This will have a special effect on those. And it also calms that storm, that inflammatory cytokine storm that a lot of people are experiencing.
I love SPMs. I recommend a certain dosage. For me, it's 3 soft gels, 1 to 3 times a day. So that really helps a lot. I can tell when I don't take it. So it really helps. For mine, it's more musculoskeletal. For some other people, it may be fatigue, right?
Sure.
We've had people with COVID. Immune issues, but the research that was exciting to me was 28.9% reduction in pain in 4 weeks, 43% reduction in high sensitivity C-reactive protein, number one risk of cardiovascular disease, right?
Right.
It rebalanced the fibrinogen situation in people within 8 weeks, right? So I love it overall. I think it's fantastic. It's really probably the biggest change I've seen in the industry in the last 20 years.
It really has. Over the last year and a half, it's made such an impact. And timing was perfect for it with everybody's facing out there.
So if you have a fire in your kitchen, God forbid, you can't remodel until you cool it down. So think of SPMs that cool down the fire, and then the HA Plus is going to rebuild.
It's going to rebuild. Now, our HA Plus powder is what we're bundling on this because it's got a great a great place in the industry because it's vegetarian. And it has 2 patented research trademarked ingredients in it. Okay, we have the vegetarian form of glucosamine, glucosavita, and the Hyamax, which is the patented research form, vegetarian form of hyaluronic acid.
I love it. This is one of our favorite formulas, and our number one seller of all time is HA Plus capsules and the powder combined. So great way to not only help the joints, but also the skin.
Right, absolutely. And we added MSM because that's one of the most deficient minerals for healing, especially in the body. So then let's play a little game here. You know, we got a brand new formula that came out this month. Brand new. Now, it's not new in that the nutrients are new, but it's a nice new combo. What is the alpha nutrient? Do you know, Phil? Do you?
No.
Oh, okay. You're going to answer it in the form of a question? Bingo. What is D3? There it is. Why is it the alpha nutrient? Because it's the only one we get from the sun. And it's the only nutrient that you can get just naturally being out in nature. So D3. Now, let's have another little quiz here. How about what was the nutrient that was named Activator X when it was discovered? You don't know this one, Phil?
Can I help him out?
Help him out.
You need a lifeline? Call Lifeline.
Call Lifeline.
I'm going to say K2.
Bingo. What is vitamin K2? There it is. So basically what we did was a brand new formulation, Jamie, our D3K2 combo. But before we get to that, let's have one more question. You know who discovered vitamin K2, Phil? Jamie does.
I do, but it's on the tip of my tongue. So I need some. Joe, do you know?
Who is Dr. Weston Price? There it is.
You know the connection between Weston Price and us?
Dr. Weiner, yes.
The international icon, Dr. James Weiner, worked for the Price Pottinger Foundation.
Okay, one more. What was the book that first presented this paradox of vitamin K2 to calcium? Yeah. It's real easy when you see the answer. What is K2 in the calcium paradox?
Made an easy one, huh?
Made an easy one for everybody. Okay, so vitamin K, guys, there's two forms. K1 comes from green leafy vegetables, and it's been around. We've known about it for a long time. But vitamin K2 is fairly recent, 1990s, when it was actually named and came away from the Activator X. So vitamin K2 has a very specific use in the body, folks, and that is to push calcium out of the blood and into the bones and teeth.
Love it.
So vitamin D3K2 from Nutritional Frontiers, our brand new product of the month for December. And it has 10,000 IUs of D3 in one cap and 90 micrograms, the recommended amount for K2. So there you have it.
Yeah, and I love the options now that we have. We have D3 5000. We have the Super K2 Plus. We have now the D3 K2 Complete. We have the Super Cal. So we have different options depending on what the goal is. So good dosing of not only D3, but also of K2.
Yes.
So very easy to take. One capsule will give you that dose.
One capsule gives you that dose. Great new product. So I think that's it for December.
Is that it?
Unless you got something else you want to bring in.
We're still going.
You got a new one? Bring another special.
So thanks for all support this year, folks. We got, I don't know.
Another question, Phil?
Go ahead. Keep them coming. Well, I actually got a similar text. So, we talk about electrolytes, right? There's about 6 different ones. These are minerals, right? And the most famous electrolyte drink is Gatorade, right? Which had its purpose, actually, when you're in the Florida heat at the swamp and you've been totally dehydrated.
Right.
They gave them sugar and salt, right?
Right.
And that's what people needed. They needed the minerals, and they needed sugar to be able to help absorb it.
And it was the Florida Gators football team.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that's where Gatorade came from way back when. And over time, we've had, improvements with technology and research. So we've actually taken the electrolyte formula and we put it in Power Fuel now.
Yeah, I mean, as if that wasn't powerful enough.
Yeah. Now, too. So it's a way I would recommend. That's who my buddy's texting me now. I get dehydrated a lot working out, even in the winter, right? Because people think it's only in the summer.
No.
I would use Power Fuel, 1 scoop as needed.
Yeah, Phil, Power Fuel would be awesome for her. Okay.
I got one more question. It says, when is the 12 Days of Christmas going on, Joe?
It's going on right now, right through the 23rd of December.
What do they need to do?
All you need to do is call your rep, call customer service, make that order, call Nutritional Frontiers, 412-922-2566.
And check out the new website, nutritionalfrontiers.com. Well, thanks so much, Joe. So we appreciate all your support. We got the 12 days of Christmas going on. Look forward to seeing everyone in the new year. Until then, let's help you pass on the savings as you're making the world healthy.
That
We
would
like
be
to pass the
wonderful.
savings on to you, pass it on
Give
to your
the gift of
patients and
health.
customers. Have a great holiday season, and we'll see you guys soon.